Hey everybody, welcome into Game Time. Bogdan Bogdanovic is officially heading to the Atlanta Hawks. This makes them one of the deepest teams in the NBA and a force to be reckoned with. The New Orleans Pelicans extended 23-year-old Brandon Ingram after he put up career highs last season. He is now locked in for 5 more years. And Bam Adebayo, after starring for the Miami Heat in the playoffs, is topping off his all-star caliber year with a max contract extension. Hey everybody, I'm Allie LaForce. I'm joined by former NBA champion Channing Frye and former front office executive Tom Penn. Great to be with you both.
Thanks for having us.
We knew the 2020 NBA free agent class didn't have the star power of last year's when, half the league became available, but there was plenty of big names and big moments that happened. The latest being Bogdan Bogdanovic, officially a member of the Atlanta Hawks. So he was offered a 4-year, $72 million deal. The Kings contemplated whether or not they wanted to match it. They decided against it. So Tom, I'll start with you on this one. What do you think was going through the minds of the members of the front office as they had to try to decide, do we build around this young core and keep some flexibility, or do we sign him long term?
In Sacramento, it had to be about the money. Normally, you don't let talent get away for nothing, and that's what just happened. But they're committed to these double-digit, significant contracts. De'Aaron Fox's extension. They got Bagley coming behind. Barnes is there, double digits. It's just a load there. They lose flexibility a little bit, but it's more about losing the money. And Allie, when I think about it this year, unlike any other, in COVID times and this year, the revenue sources are going to be way down. You don't want to take 18 more million bucks in actual salary and expense. You let it walk out the door, go down to Atlanta, and in Sacramento, they're just going to probably be going through their building phase and trying to hope that their young players come along more quickly so they can be better on the other side of this.
Yeah, they'll have to find more creative ways to build around Fox, Bagley, Hield, those young players that you mentioned. Channing, what was your reaction?
I really look at it as the Hawks are being super aggressive. I like what they're doing, and they're trying to build their culture. The Hawks were not a good team last year, but now they're putting guys around that are getting checks. He's proven that he can play, and we'll see what he could do with this bigger role. But again, I think this is more about the Hawks. Looking at this roster, I really like it. I do think they have issues at the 4 position when Gallinari moves to that. But other than that, they're young, they have length. And again, they're trying to create a culture of winning there. And by bringing in Rondo, Tony Snell's been a pro his whole career. Capella's going to get you 10-10 automatic, and Gallinari is proven to be able to score on a bunch of different teams. I think he's one of the most underrated players in the league when he's healthy. So I like what the Hawks are doing.
The biggest question will be getting 12 guys all to mesh together and develop that chemistry. So it'll be interesting to watch. A couple of extensions that happened recently. The Pelicans extended Brandon Ingram to a 5-year, $158 million maximum contract extension. Channing, I'll start with you on this one. How do you explain and describe just the level of comfort and just the fit at home there in New Orleans for Brandon?
You know what? Certain people are just built to live a certain place. It's not an opportunity, a short stint with the Lakers to play with him. This kid is ridiculously talented, and he's a workhorse, and he works really hard in his game. And you saw what he was doing in the bubble. Their short time there, he was going to work. I think the fact that he's 23, you got to lock that up for as long as possible. You now have him, you have Zion, you have Josh Hart, you have Steven Adams. I like what they're doing down there. Griff knows talent. He signed me to a contract back in the day, so he has a good eye for guys to make sure.
Hey, Tom would have done the same thing. Tom knows talent too, okay?
Hey, Tom traded for Channing Frye. Way before Griff ever signed him, Tom was part of trading for Channing in Portland, Oregon. So how about a little thank you?
Tom, my question to you on this one would be, a key to his growth there was definitely the improvement in three-point shooting, but they just let it fly, right? So in 3 seasons with the Lakers, he shot 32% from deep. In New Orleans, he was shooting 6 threes a game and hitting 39% of them. Did you like the freedom that the front office and the coaching staff gave him and the confidence they instilled in him?
Yeah, remember, David Griffin did this deal where he had to lose Anthony Davis, and he got that cash or that treasure trove of young talent, and his hope was that somebody would pop, whether it was Ball or Ingram. Most money was on Ingram, and Ingram came along. You talked about it statistically, and his game evolved. It was a very productive year for him to now be the running mate of Zion, or the other way around. But so this is all about getting to a real year with Zion where he can stay healthy, they can play. Hopefully COVID doesn't disrupt things too much. And then you've got Ingram and him coming along as franchise pillars, and all those complementary moves that Griff has made where he adds Bledsoe as a different backcourt, and he makes Adams come in the last year of a deal, but he's one of the most rugged, solid, take 6 fouls, get a bunch of rebounds, big men. There's some nice complementary pieces now, but it's all about Zion and Ingram coming up together, and they locked in Ingram for a long time.
Yes, they did. Moving on to the next team that locked in a star player for a long time, the Miami Heat. They extended Bam Adebayo to a 5-year max extension. This one really excites me, just watching what an impact player he was in the bubble leading up to the finals and in the finals as well. They had till December 21st to agree with him on an extension. Tom, we'll start with you on this one. Did you like the move to do it early, even though they maybe would have had a little bit of more flexibility and room financially to wait longer?
Well, 24 hours ago, I was praising Pat Riley for the way they were going to wait and maybe do this next year. I was falling for that, but Pat stepped up and did the right thing. So I was wrong. He's right again. Here's the deal with this. There just comes a time where you treat your player the correct way. You don't make him wait so that you might get somebody else to come in his place. There's still plenty of ways for them, should they have Giannis's interest in about a year from now, or not a year from now, in the summer, or should they have Victor Oladipo's interest? There would be various ways they could do signing trades or other things to try to get one of the marquee free agents to come down there. Pat knows it's all about A-list talent, or do Hero and Bam and Duncan Robinson and those guys just continue to evolve and grow? Because when you're young, you get better. That's what's so exciting about when you get a young player performing the way Tyler Hero did or the way Bam Adebayo did. That evolution, then you see an explosion into their prime, and it's just so exciting when you get young players coming of age like this.
That leads into my question for you, Channing. Coming off the best season of his career, he was an all-star. He won the skills challenge, had some star moments like the big block on Tatum in the Eastern Conference Finals. What was it like to see his growth for you, and what excites you about what the future holds for him?
Well, I think what's a funny story is I was coming off the bench in Cleveland, and they were like, "Hey, Channing, you got that young kid, Bam," and I was like, "Can he jump? Can he shoot? What can he do?" They're like, "Well, he could do a little bit of everything." Well, I found out the next play that he can jump really high, and he dunked on me. And ever since then, I've been a huge fan. And what's crazy about this is, if you really watch him, the game is slow to him still, even at this young age. So his passing is always on point. The way he rebounds, his defensive timing is great. What I want to see him is evolve his offensive game. I know he can shoot that 15-footer, right? I know that eventually he'll get out there and shoot threes, but the fact that he's staying within himself, this team is only going to get better. Pat Riley's going to continue to put the right people around them, and everybody who goes in there changes due to the Heat culture.
I cannot wait to watch them play next season. Thank you both for your thoughts. Coming up, the Brooklyn Nets have a lot to look forward to as well this NBA season, including these two being healthy. We check in with the Nets insider after the break.